Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Daily Tastes.
Yeah, you know, this is where we present our authentic nomad life.
Yeah.
And so, for our week in Halong Bay, we're going to give you a behind the scenes tour. You can go over to Cruise Through Retirement, our channel that we're building, and, look at all the real videos, all the reviews, and how to choose a place. That's not this.
That is not this. This is going to be that behind the scenes look of kind of how the days went.
Yeah. You will get a taste of them, though.
Yeah, definitely. But definitely go to Cruise Through Retirement and check out the cruises, check out how, all the stuff went.
It was spectacular.
Halong Bay is just a whole entity in itself. You got to check it out to see. Yeah, it's really unbelievable.
Yeah.
And this has been a different note because we're here about 2.5 weeks right after Typhoon Yagi took a direct hit to Halong Bay.
Which was Category 4. Devastating. Many people lost their lives.
Yeah, the most devastating they had, actually, I was reading up on it, and they said like in the last 70 years. So we're also going to give you some shots of that and kind of our feelings on just being here at this time and how the communities have really dealt with it.
Yes. But first of all, because this is real, we decided to record you first because there is a giant busload of tourists outside having breakfast, super loud. And if you can hear them, you know it's real, right?
There you go.
So this hotel has been great. We've been here 2 nights because our last cruise was a 1-day cruise. We had to kind of blanket it between 2 hotel nights. And this hotel, as you know, we have a problem with bathroom lighting always. This is a perfect place to take. They had a makeup mirror and decent lighting. And tons of hot water in the shower. So I'm a happy girl.
She's a happy girl because she has a makeup mirror and she has great lighting. I don't even think my hair's combed right, but that's a whole nother story. We won't get into that.
And we have coffee.
Yes, and we have coffee.
I'm just going to sit here for the next, 12 hours till we leave again.
Been missing yourself a comfy chair?
Oh, yeah.
Ah, good. Oh, this is a beautiful room, but I'm a little depressed.
The honeymoon's over.
No more honeymoon suites for us.
Sorry, Tim.
So where do we start with this?
Okay, so we wanted to do a feature in this bay for Cruise Through Retirement. That's our relatively new cruise channel. It only right now has 5 videos up on it that are ship tours of, mass market cruises.
Yeah.
And so they do really well, and they just keep doing well over time. The reason we got the idea was because we had a couple of them on Taste Life with us.
And
They've
they did
done
really well,
but unfortunately made YouTube think that we were just a cruise channel. And it really threw off our analytics of who they suggest us to. So we had started this new channel in February, I think. And we haven't done anything with it because we haven't been cruising.
Yeah.
But now we're starting a season of cruising. So
that is starting.
Yeah.
And even when we're on the Panorama, which is we're talking a lot of cruising, but we're giving you a heads up.
This is going to be our daily life. So if you're following our daily nomad life,
yes,
you need to know that it's going to be on the sea starting in, is it 12 days or something? 10 days.
Is it?
Wow. Today we fly back to Da Nang for 6 nights. We go to Singapore for 4 nights, and then we leave from Singapore. We go to some cool Asian locations, and then Hawaii, and then Los Angeles to see our family.
So, wait a second. Does that mean we're just going to ditch Daily Taste altogether?
No, of course. We will still throw in some tasters onto Daily Taste. But if you want to see our daily-ish, you know how it is, life on
our
the
blog.
Cruise ship, which will be short things in different areas of the ship, what we're doing.
Yeah. What we're doing on the ship, what the ship's about.
Will be on Cruise Through Retirement. So you're going to want to go over there and subscribe and during this cruise season, you're going to have to move back and forth a little bit if you want to follow our daily life.
Can we call it daily cruise?
Yeah.
I like
That's
that.
a good idea.
Yeah.
Daily cruise vlog, because cruisers are familiar with vlogs.
That's true. Yeah, they're good people.
It's a
They're
different demographic.
Okay, so that's kind of the why we're doing this and the how we're doing this.
Yes. And that was our original motivation for this trip. And
Yeah.
because, aside from that, we wanted to see Halong Bay.
Oh, Halong Bay, wow, has always been on our bucket list. It is one of the 7 natural wonders of the world.
For good reason.
Yeah,
It's
it's
like nothing we've ever seen.
So, with that said, this was something we always wanted to do, and then we had the opportunity to put the cruise videos together for it. We're like, hey, winter, we could make this happen.
Yeah.
And then something different happened on this trip.
It turned into a second honeymoon that we had not planned or expected.
No,
Which was super cool. I mean, we knew we were celebrating.
Yeah.
But like at birthdays, we don't call attention to ourselves
No,
at the restaurant.
But this was different. So, just a quick refresh. First honeymoon, 30 plus years ago. Good Lord.
33 years ago.
Okay, I knew it was 33. I was just kind of checking to make sure she knew. It was fabulous. We went to the
Sandals in Jamaica.
And we both got the flu.
Really bad. Like, I thought Tim was going to die.
We're newlyweds. What did we know?
Yeah, I went to the nurse at Sandals and she thought I was blowing it out of proportion. She came out to the room to check on him and she wasn't sure he was going to live either.
She just didn't want to enter the room. So, again, let's fast forward now to this point. We used a travel agent,
which we never do except for all of our cruises, regular cruise line cruises. We do use a travel agent because we learned from the pandemic stuff goes to hell and
in a hurry.
It's hours on the phone with the cruise line. So you're way better off having an agent that does this for you.
And with this particular trip, I mean, with the typhoon and everything, what a blessing.
Thank God.
Yeah,
It
Mia
kept
was
changing
incredible.
Cruises.
Yeah.
Like, I think one of our cruises, we ended up on the 3rd booked cruise. They had to change it 3 times. One of our ships got damaged in the typhoon, changed at the last minute.
Yeah.
But I have to say, I mean, I just picked Best Price Travel off of the internet because they had good reviews. They seemed like they had a ton of business. They were a big agency. They did what we wanted to do and they could customize it. And we wanted to do 3 different cruises with all the transfers, the hotels, the
And
flights.
everything added in. And
And they just
wow.
gave us an agent at random. And Mia, oh my gosh, I just adore her. She has been fabulous.
Fantastic.
I wish she could organize all of our travel.
Should we put a link below? And
Oh, we will put a link below.
Okay.
I mean, literally, they just hand walk you from place to place to place.
I feel like a little kid almost.
Oh yeah, every day we've got a message from her. Your driver is so-and-so will pick you up at this time. And then they're there. It's super reliable. She's checked us in for our flights because we've had tons of problems with Vietjet.
Yeah.
Our flights have changed. It's like freaking Cambodia Air Anchor. Our flights
over
just
again.
change over and over and over. But Mia has handled it like a tramp. That's not right.
Champ. Champ. Like a champ, not a...
Mia, let's erase that.
No, I'm leaving it
No,
in.
Mia has handled that like a champ. She's a very respectable woman. I just want to make that clear. So, anyways,
Okay, so she had checked with us and said, when's your anniversary? Da 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 da.
yeah, how long have you been married?
Yeah.
She was just being nice and
We
friendly.
thought.
Yeah. So, okay. So first, let's back up. The first night of our trip, we went to the Marriott in Da Nang before we left for the airport because we had a free Marriott certificate that we had to
Winner.
use up. If you're on our Facebook page, which of course you should be, or our Instagram, both Taste Life with Us, you saw some pictures from that. It was fabulous.
Yes,
It was
that's
so romantic.
incredibly romantic hotel. Now,
Yeah.
Mia didn't have anything to do with
No,
that.
no, this was just us on a free night.
So we had that experience. Then
So romance was in the air.
it started that way. Wow.
Yeah.
So we hopped on to the transport. We got to the airport after that. And then we went to Haiphong.
You can fly into Hanoi, and most people do, but it's like a 2-hour car ride from there. And you could also fly into Haiphong, and it's less than an hour.
Yeah.
So we did.
So we did that. We showed up at our hotel. Really cute little place.
Manoir des Arts, I think.
Yes. And it was...
What was so cool? As we're driving, right, up the street, Tim and I both are looking out the window, and we see this bar that is so just elegant and like beckoning French decor. And we both were like, oh, that place is so cute. And then the driver pulls the car over.
That's where we stopped at.
And he's like, it's hotel, your hotel. And we're like, no way, it's next door. But then tell your part.
So I look up at it. I look at the title of it, figure out what the name is so we can come back to it. And it's called...
Gentleman Lounge.
Yes, the Gentleman's Lounge.
Yeah, just Gentleman Lounge.
All I could think of was, I ain't going in there. That's not a good place.
He thought it was like a topless dance bar or something, although it didn't look anything like that. But, in the U.S., it's called a gentleman's bar. Yeah, it's not for gentlemen. Yeah.
But anyway, it wasn't like that.
Not at all. It was attached to the hotel.
Yeah.
And it was elegant and lovely.
But what happened...
was the whole hotel.
Yeah, but what happened when we went up to our room?
So we walk into our room, and there is a plate with awesome desserts. They looked super sweet, but weren't super sweet.
No, they were
so
delicious.
good. And what did it say?
Happy anniversary. Happy 33rd anniversary.
Yes, and what was funny was when we were checking in, the check-in lady said, happy anniversary. And I'm like, it's not our anniversary, because it wasn't that day, and we weren't expecting any kind of anniversary thing. And she's like, oh, okay. So,
happy honeymoon or something of that nature.
And I mean, I don't know. I guess I was just so shocked. I wasn't like looking ahead to the cruise at that point. We take it a day at a time. So anyways, we went up to the room, and the bed has these beautiful, like, kissing swan type
swan towel things.
Roses. It was...
Rose petals all over.
It was something. We were shocked.
We were.
Yeah.
It was amazing. And it was just kind of like this whole start of this, like...
surprise.
Yeah.
And we're like, wow. Mia must have done this because she knew it was 33 years.
Right.
And so then we went down to the bar to have their happy hour.
Yeah, and so, we have a happy hour and kind of chit-chat.
Nice great wine bar. Yeah, we enjoyed it. Hey, Susan. Big shout out. Thank you for this wonderful, whoa, it looks huge at that perspective. This wonderful little cocktail hour that we're having to celebrate our spontaneous second honeymoon.
There's a whole nother story behind that you'll get to see.
Yeah.
But we wanted to say thank you. Thank you very much for supporting us on the Buy Us a Coffee.
Yes, and Tim's having an old fashioned.
It has a nice coffee flavor.
I'm just going to say this is probably the best coffee we've ever had. And it's happy hour, so we get 2 for the price of 1 on each of ours.
Absolutely.
So it doesn't end with this. So anyway, Susan, thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting us. If anybody else wants to buy us a coffee or a real coffee, we love you guys.
Yeah.
We won't turn it down.
Nope, we will not. Thank you so much again. So we were chit-chatting and kind of giggling about it, and then all of a sudden they set up this table behind us. It's kind of off in the corner.
It's someone celebrating something because it's beautiful. Well, you'll see it. We'll pop up a picture.
Yeah, it was really cute. They had balloons. They had all sorts of things going on. And we're like, oh, yeah, somebody's celebrating, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah, we're paying our tab.
Yeah, they're like, oh, come over here, take a seat.
Yeah, they're doing some kind of promotion, I guess, to promote the hotel for celebrations. Because they also set up a birthday table. And they're like, oh, let's sit down and we're going to take your picture. And they gave us the digitals. It was shocking.
It was shocking because we are not models. Y'all see us on the
Oh,
TV.
yeah,
You got
yeah.
that. We
We've been
knew.
traveling all day. We
Oh,
didn't look
yeah.
great.
And so, and then just to come to find out, it really was an anniversary little celebrational picture place. So it worked out fine
Yeah.
for what we were doing.
Now I kind of wish we would have had dinner there. I wonder if they would have let us use that table.
Ooh.
But we didn't even have dinner. We just skipped it.
we just had a couple of
And
drinks
it
for
was
happy hour.
just, okay, so it was so romantic.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next day, we our driver took us down to get on the first cruise, Orchid Cruise.
Yes.
You can see all about that and all we did over on Cruise Through Retirement. But we walked in, first of all, we didn't know what to expect with these. Mia booked them. They weren't even the ones that we had originally chosen and booked. We just trusted her to get something comparable because, you know, she's scrambling at
In the
late
middle of it.
dates to get these cruises
Yeah.
that one had just got canceled like the week before because the
typh-
damage from
yeah.
the typhoon. So she's scrambling to get something.
So we're like, we show up. It's like, it was good. And again, watch the video regarding the boat. But we go down to our room and it's like the same thing. Kissing swans, rose petals everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, just beautiful. And then,
And that room was huge.
Huge.
And the bathroom,
Oh.
huge. And the windows and the balcony. And
was
it had
gorgeous.
a beautiful bathtub. And on a little ship, enough water to fill it
Yes.
for a wonderful bath. So that was pretty cool.
yeah. And then at dinner time,
I've never taken so many baths, actually, in
know,
the
you-
last week. Anyway, go ahead.
so then at dinner time, the same thing. We get this whole celebration table regarding our dinner.
Okay, so it's the first night, and at breakfast, Mina, who was the best server ever,
Mina, not Mia.
Mina, that we've ever had on any cruise ever. She was phenomenal. So she says, "Do you mind if we do a special little thing and you sit at that table for your anniversary?" And we're like,
Okay.
I guess. And we're like, "Does it cost extra?" She's like, no. We're like, okay. We thought, I don't know, maybe we'll get a free bottle of wine or something. Who knows, right? So
Watch the video because it
We
is
walk
just
in.
over the top. In fact,
I'll put a couple videos,
pictures.
pictures here, but you've got to see the video because it just went on and on the whole meal, one spectacular thing after another.
Yeah, that was again kind of crazy.
And kind of embarrassing because,
But-
like everybody's looking at us. But you know what? We just kind of forgot the other people because it was so special by the end. We are both bawling,
Not
crying.
bawling, just had a little tear. that's
Okay, a
all.
little more than that. I'm bawling, trying to find things that wipe my face.
But
Because it totally turned into
something really cool.
an amazing second honeymoon.
Yeah.
And at that point, we were like remembering the flu on our first honeymoon.
Don't you start
and-
it. Don't cry.
And just that this was like a redemption of it.
Yeah,
you know,
it was
just,
cool.
So it was kind of one of the best things we've ever experienced for
Okay,
anything
now I'm
like
starting
that,
to
an
cry.
anniversary or anything.
Stop. Okay. Okay.
It was special. Don't miss the video.
Okay. So.
Okay, so that's going to be in actually the celebration video because so much happened.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing a whole video on celebrating in Halong Bay because it
So many
seems
different
to be
times.
it really seems to be just a thing they do here. Like it's
Yeah.
such a romantic spot. It's such a honeymoon, anniversary, birthday.
We saw somebody get
Place.
engaged on a boat next to us. So
Yes.
yeah, I mean, just all sorts of
we
stuff.
met a honeymooner.
Yes, we
couple.
met a honeymoon couple. It's so much cool stuff. So
Yeah, that'll be on the celebration video.
yeah. Also, second boat we get on. We go back
Okay,
down.
so wait, back up
Okay.
to the kayaking.
Oh.
Okay, so it was fun. All the activities were fun. We kayaked through this little tunnel. It was long but easy kayaking.
So
you know,
that's
very
the type of
smooth.
excursion it was. It was a kayak excursion.
So we did that one day, and we had nice backs on the.
Kayaks. They were
Kayaks.
good. They were good kayaks. Yeah.
So
But
then
they started to bother my back a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it was hurting both our backs because it was long.
But we made it.
Yeah. So then it was on that cruise, right? That the second time we
No.
just kayaked off the back of the boat.
Oh.
So they had a spot where you could kayak off the back of the boat over to this little private beach, which really wasn't all that far away. Yes. They did.
Okay.
Okay, so we were gonna do it, but as soon as we got on that kayak, we took like 5 strokes, and Tim's back started really
Just cramping
bothering
up,
him
yeah.
bad. And they were different kayaks; they didn't have any back support. And like 5 strokes, and Tim's like, I'm not gonna
done.
make it. I'm not gonna be able to row us back. And it was a little rougher because you had to go way across the open area. So we turned around, went back. We just swam in the water, which was very nice. Oh
beautiful.
my gosh, swimming in the emerald water of Halong Bay is a bucket list right there.
Yeah, it really is. So anyway, that's what happened.
Yes.
With
So
that.
that's the background to what happened when we got on the second cruise, the
Yes.
Remnants cruise.
Yeah, so we went to do another excursion, and it was kayaking, and I'm kind of like going, okay, maybe. And the guy points, he goes, oh yeah, we're just going to go over to that beach over there.
Yeah, I totally misunderstood because it was not very far. And I'm like, okay, we can make it to there.
Yeah. No, we went around the frickin' island, saw a cave, and then over to the beach, which
was a cool area, but it was into like open bay. It wasn't protected.
it was a
smooth
little
water.
rougher.
It was a lot rougher. And he had told us at the beginning, like, if you have a problem, just go to the tender and you can, I thought, get on the tender, they'll pull the kayak.
Yeah.
No big deal. So after maybe over a half an hour of kayaking through very rough water, and we can see where they're going, and it's crossing an even rougher, huge area.
I was done.
And Tim's like, no way, can't do it.
Yeah.
And I'd been doing a lot of the paddling, and I was getting really tired too. And so we're like, okay, we'll just go to the tender. And
That was a whole nother fiasco.
Anybody, right? We couldn't catch up to the guide to tell him, so we just turned towards the tender that was following us. Oh my gosh. So first of all, you can't get on the tender. They could just pull you. Couldn't get the rope. For whatever reason, the guide came clear back across this huge bay. Everyone's like waiting. This is the exact scenario you never want to happen. It was so embarrassing. And anyway, so we ended up being towed over to the thing. So before we go there, we have to say that the day before that, we went to Cat-Ba Island. And we combined with people from their other boat. So this person was not on our ship, but she was with our group that day. And it was this family and this little girl who was like 9. And it was extremely hard bike ride to this village. So we're all in this shuttle. Well, turns out the shuttle's not allowed to pass the last biker, who is this little tiny girl who cannot make it on this. And the mom, everybody's like, the guides and a very loudmouth man on the shuttle are like, just get on the shuttle, we'll make room for the bike. Like, this poor little girl. Nope, she must learn to finish what she completes. You just have to give her time and let her learn. So we must have followed them for like a half an hour and gone like...
It wasn't a half hour.
100 feet.
It was a ways.
I'm just saying, everyone was getting a little ticked off. So finally the guide came back and stayed with them, and the shuttle went on. But
anyway, this is all...
On the heels of that, do we want to be the ones?
Do we want to be the 9-year-old girl?
And we felt like the 9-year-old girl.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Oh my gosh. And that's why we didn't do the bike, because I would have been the 9-year-old girl. But I would have got on the shuttle.
Yeah. Okay. So with all that said, you got to watch the video because something cool did happen there.
Oh my gosh, right? So
should they watch the video?
Well, let's just give them a tidbit.
Okay, because this is a taster.
We'll put up one picture, but you got to watch the video about the aftermath of the typhoon.
Yes.
Which is a hurricane.
Yeah.
Because we get to this beach, and of course it's got a lot of debris, as a lot of areas of the bay did, because boats sunk and all their stuff just went everywhere. Fishing boats got tipped over, and their styrofoam came out, and their styrofoam just everywhere.
Looks like mini icebergs all over the place.
And other debris. It did not impact our enjoyment of
No,
the
it
trip
was great.
at all, but this poor beach, right?
Yeah, you could see that. And so we get to the beach, and we're all kind of floating in the water and kind of relaxing. And our guide, he just starts picking up some of the styrofoam and putting it into a kayak. It was his kayak, and he was going to take it back. And everybody on this tour, and again, there was probably, about 20 people.
Again. Okay, so this is on a much smaller ship. When we walked onto this ship, we were like...
Oh, so it was less than 20, so like 18 people.
This ship is half the size of the other one.
But again, you got to watch that video
so
to get all
watch that video.
But everybody started picking up trash, and we all decided, especially me, I wasn't getting back in the kayak.
And Tim's back was really hurting him. I didn't want him to do it, but he did.
But we started picking up as much styrofoam as we could and started loading it into all of the kayaks, and we took all of that.
I'm going to totally cry again.
It was just such a neat experience to be part of the solution instead of normally being part of the problem.
So we cleaned up that beach.
We did.
There was an area over to the side that we couldn't access because of the tide. So when we were pulling away and you could see some trash over to the left, it's because we couldn't access that area. I tried really hard. We were climbing over all this bamboo and
watch the video.
Sharp.
It's just a really cool thing.
Anyways, it was amazing, and that is one of the reasons that even though the second ship was definitely not a luxury ship like the first one,
the community of that ship was awesome.
So there was only 10 rooms, and how many people?
18 people.
18 people.
Yep.
The most well-traveled group of people I have ever been with. I mean, compared to nomads.
It's kind of interesting because when you travel full-time, you come across two types of people, usually. There's touristers, and don't take this bad in any way, but there's people who tourist, and they're really there for a short period of time, and they're trying to get as much into it as they can, and it's just blah. And then you have travelers, and I put nomads into the travelers group because they're people who are traveling on longer extended vacation type things or all the time, travel slower, and they tend to take more interest in what's going on around them instead of just the event that they traveled to see.
Yeah.
And that's how this group of people were. Most of them were either on month-long vacations or longer. Wouldn't it be nice to have a month-long vacation, by the way?
Some of them had lived in multiple countries, which was very interesting. Great people. Wow, that was the highlight of this cruise. The other highlight of this second cruise was the tour guide.
The tour guide himself.
Who was amazing. And boy, did he love the Halong Bay area.
He did.
And that's why he was cleaning it up. And he didn't ask anyone to help. We just all did. And I don't think you could have done that on a bigger cruise because you wouldn't have had that flexibility. And it's very like time scheduled, and you've got to hurry up. Where the smaller one, it wasn't. He was like, yeah, we got time. We don't have to be anywhere I don't want us to be. You know?
Exactly.
And anyway, so it turned out to be very, very special experience.
Very rewarding,
I tell you though, as you go away from it and you see other beaches that need to be cleaned up, you do have this feeling of that story like the starfish, like all the live starfish is washed up on the beach and you feel overwhelmed and how do I save them all? And the moral of the story is just
one
at
a
time. Like that's all you can do. All we did was clean up one beach. Halong Bay has almost 2,000 islands. So you can imagine how many beaches had trash. But it felt good. And we kept going by it. And he'd be like, there's our beach. Look how clean it is.
Yeah, he was so excited about it.
Yeah, he was. And it was super special.
It was.
So we did skip the main 2 excursions on this second ship because one involved kayaking, which turned out to not even, this is what kind of tipped me off. I'm going to just be honest. He was like, well, you got to kayak and then you got to hike through this cave.
Okay, the first minute he said Kai, I said no.
Right. And there was no other way to do it, right? So then we can literally see them on the tender. They're not that far away. We probably could have swam to them.
Yeah.
And they didn't even untie the kayaks. We talked to people later and they're like, no, everybody decided to swim because it was so close. We could have swam. And then walked through this little cave, which was pretty cool. And that way we could have seen it because we do love caves. So I was a little miffed about that.
But at least we got a few pictures
he
of
didn't
the...
know ahead of time that people were going to just, I don't know.
Yeah,
anyways, whatever.
One of the other couples on the cruise that we kind of befriended, they gave us some pictures, so we'll post those up on that cruise. You'll have to watch that video. Sorry.
Yeah. And then the next one was to a cave that involved 150 steps. So again, worrying about Tim's back, my back, our knees, we're kind of like, that's
Old people.
Lot of steps for what sounds like a not that huge, impressive cave. Like, we've been to a lot of caves and it didn't seem worth it, right? And maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. We don't know because we didn't see it. But people liked it.
Yeah.
And so we skipped it. We actually spent an amazing day on the boat,
all to ourselves.
All to ourselves. We were the only ones. So actually, it was fantastic. We loved it. We're not complaining.
That's the video you have to watch regarding that. That's the second cruise, which was the
Nuoc cruise.
The Nuoc cruise.
Okay, we gotta hurry. This is 30 minutes, and they stopped serving in 10 minutes. So we're gonna wrap this up fast. We gotta get our free breakfast downstairs. But okay, so then we weren't looking forward to the day cruise because we thought it's gonna be like a party cruise and loud, and we've already seen so much. But we committed, so we went on the Amethyst day cruise. And
it was awesome.
It turned out to be elegant.
The ship was only a year and a half old, so it was a brand new ship. It was beautiful.
And I will have you know, we did hike up to a cave that they tried to discourage us because there's a bit of like old age.
The tour guide was a little
condescending about us being old. Didn't think we could make it.
Okay, so Kathi was questioning a lot about what it was going to take to get there, and
like what kind of steps?
I think he just put in his mind, oh God, if they're asking questions, I don't really want them with me on this hike.
So anyways, I was fueled by ticked off anger by the time we did it. I did not like that guy. Later, he came back and talked to us after he saw that we made it. In fact, we got up there so fast. We were almost through the caves, and he's like, yelling from up above, he's like, stop and wait, just slow down, you don't have to hurry, you're the first ones. Like,
somebody lit a fire under somebody.
It's a loop, and you just go back to the boat. You can't get lost. And there was no reason to wait, and he made us wait. And I don't even know why. He never even came back. Finally, we're like, half the people from our boat went by, so we just went. But
she was miffed.
I was ready to hike to the top of the other island after that, just to show him. But it was pouring at the private island, so we didn't get off the boat.
But he did come back and talk to us. And
he was super nice, and it was all redeemed. But so it was a beautiful cave. It's the biggest cave. They call it Surprise Cave. It has a different name too, but that's on the Amethyst video. And it was beautiful. We've been in a lot of caves, and it was quite lovely.
So welcome to our daily recap taste of the week.
Yeah, we hope you'll watch all those videos, but it was fantastic. So,
hey, look forward to showing you more. Thank you for watching.
Yeah, and we hope that the way you see us doing this will give you a taste of how we're going to handle the time we're on our cruises.
Yeah, it'll be a lot like that.
But it will be more like our daily vlog, more authentic daily
just
vlog.
Kind of talking about and showing and kind of giving
like
you
what we're doing each day.
A taster, except for it's just going to be a daily cruise of the activities.
And if you've never been on one, or you think, I would never want to be on a cruise for 25 days with all those sea days going across the big ocean, will it be rough? We don't know till we get there.
Exactly.
So you will find out with us.
Like, subscribe to 2 channels now. Taste Life with Us and Cruise to Retirement.
Yes, and be sure you're following us on Facebook and Instagram for both. Be careful on Instagram because there's another cruise through retirement we didn't know about. So we're going to pop up our logo right here. When you look for Cruise Through Retirement on Instagram, be sure you use the one with this logo. That's us. Our lovely mugs. Our ugly mugs. Whatever.
No.
And there's also links in the description
I'm not
below and links to our travel agent that we used here. And also, we should mention costs.
Yes.
We did a package, so it's hard to say exactly on the cruises, but we'll try to put examples over on Cruise Through Retirement. But we'll give you the package cost and what we spent additionally to that. Okay? Love you guys. Thanks for coming along for the ride.
See you soon.